it's Keely here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for this soap making video. We are getting close to Christmas, so it is time for me to actually launch them out. Like last year, I have struggled a little bit with actually doing Christmas soaps, mainly because none of our Australian suppliers have got Christmas fragrances in. They're working their hardest to actually keep on top of all the other fragrances, but none of the Christmas fragrances have come about. So I've kind of had to be a little bit creative. And then I also did get a couple of fragrances in from Rustic Essentials, which I have used as well. So I do have a couple of soaps. The first one we're going to go and make, I'm using one of the scrapers from Wickedly, and we're going to go and make Christmas trees. Let's go. I have split my oils up into two lots because we are doing a sculpted layout. We are using some of the shaping tools from Wickedly to do this soap. So I have got about 1200 grams worth of oil in my container here. I am going to do, as we always do, pour my sodium hydroxide distilled water solution into my oils, going to bring it to emulsion and then split it out for a couple of tree colors. Alright, so we have got that one all mixed together. The first colour I have got in my pot here is some of that really gorgeous dark elusive. So we'll pour off some for that one. Into this little pot here I have got some jade mica, so it's just that little bit brighter. I'm not going to pour out too much of that one. And then I have some titanium dioxide, which I have dispersed in some water. So again, not too much of that. That's just going to be a real accent colour in here. Into my main pot here, I'm going to use this chartreuse. I really like this green. Other than that elusive, this would have to be my next favourite green. Just that real gorgeous olivey colour. And it's got specks of gold through it as well. So I'm going to get my colour mixed in here. I'm not too worried if this thickens up because I know from having done the spring shower soap that my fragrance oil is going to thin this out, and I really want it to go a little bit thicker. So my fragrance oil today that I am using is called Northern Woods, and I got it in from the Fragrance Shed. I actually initially bought it in with the intention of doing this soap, so as a Christmas soap, but for some reason I added two of the fragrance oil into my little shopping cart and got 2 bottles of it. So luckily it actually is a really nice fragrance. It's got some balsam notes in there and also a little bit of cranberry. So tiny little bit of sweetness, but also that sort of acidic smell that the cranberries get. So you get that really nice piney Christmassy sort of smell. But it also, as I said when I did that spring shower soap, that it reminds me of wet ground after it has been raining in those hot days. So it really is a lovely scent for lots of different occasions. I'm going to get it all mixed in by hand. As I said, I know it does behave really well. I am going to do an in the pot swirl with this one today. I'm kind of after the look of trees, and I want that to be my main sort of colour for the trees, but I also want them to have other speckles of colour through them as well. Let's see if this is ready to start sculpting. This is one of the original shapers that Lee sent through to me with the trees, and as soon as I opened it and saw this one, I knew I wanted to save it for a Christmas soap. And she does actually have this design now up on her page. Originally when it was sent to me it wasn't, but it is now on the new website. So I've put it in at the end, and I've chosen to actually make sure that it sits flat on the bottom, so I don't need to use any of the little tools that go with it. And all I'm now going to do is to start pulling this towards me, and as I start getting some of this soap build up, I will start to actually scoop it off into this other mold I've got going. I knew I was going to end up with a fair bit of wastage, so kind of hoping I will end up with a second soap over on this side. Now that I have got all that scraped out, I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did when I did the Japanese cherry blossom using the volcano. I am just going to dribble some white melt and pour over my leaves or over my trees to make it look like it has been snowing. I'm going to get a bit of a snowdrift in between these trees, I think, but the idea is there. Let's keep pouring. Whoops, try and get a bit more on this side, I think this time. Alright, hopefully that will look like we've got some snow-capped trees when we go to actually cut this one. So I have got the rest of my oils in here. I have actually topped it up. Originally I only saved myself a kilo, but I've now put another 500 grams in there. So I've got 1.5 kilos worth of oils, which is hopefully enough to fill that one up. I have here my sodium hydroxide distilled water solution. Just going to pour that straight in there, and again I'm going to mix it up until it all just comes together, and then I'm going to split it out for some blue colours to make a sky sort of theme. Alright, I'm happy with how that has all come together there. What I'm going to try and do, I didn't use all of the white that I originally poured off. I just felt that I didn't need all of it in there. It was to kind of look like there was a bit of snow sitting in between all the leaves. So I'm just going to pour a bit more of that soap into this one, see if we can loosen it up a bit so I can do a bit of a drop swirl with this one. That is working, so that is very, very good. Alright, oh good, so I'm actually now going to be able to put some snow in my sky as well without wasting any of that. Give it a good stir just to get all of those lumps and bumps. So there's a good trick if anyone's got some soap just sitting on the side and you've got a few batches going. You can just mix it in with some fresh and it will make it go nice and fluid again. So that is my white. I'm going to do a couple of blues here as well. In this one I have got some cerulean blue, so a nice bright sort of blue colour. In this one I have got some blue yonder, so it's a little bit more stormy, a little bit more snowy in colour. Might just pour off a bit more into each of those like so. And then into my big container here I am going to go with some navy. It doesn't make a truly dark colour, but it's dark enough. I'm really, really excited. I actually placed an order this week. Been meaning to do it for ages, and everything else just always pops up and gets in the way and kind of never get round to doing anything. I need a clean spatula. But after using the red colorants, which you may or may not see before this video comes out, I don't know. One of them was in the Kaleidoscope soap where it actually went orange instead of red, and I've got another one where all the outside of the soap went brown, and then the middle is red. So I kind of thought, nah, I need to get myself some red micas, and I jumped onto Nurture Soap and I've placed an order to get, needed some more really red because I'm almost out of that one. I've been using it sparingly, so I've got myself a new pot of that. And I also decided I wanted to try this trial by fire that everyone's talking about, so I have also ordered myself a pot of that one. And the other colours I decided to go for, I ordered a couple of dark blues as well, because dark blue is just not something we seem to get here either. So we can never find a decent red mica here in Australia, and dark blues are pretty hard to find as well. They generally go purple or grey or anything but dark blue. So I thought, well, I'm ordering. I may as well treat myself to some of that dark blue mica and see how it goes. It looks really good in the pictures, so hopefully they'll look really nice. Oh, hello. Oh, he just flew back out the door. That was some big dragonfly or something that just came on in. Alright, I'm going to actually blend that one in with this stick blender, especially seeing as I know my fragrance oil is good. There are all sorts of flies and things in here today. It's driving me potty. We are definitely going to get a warm summer this year, I think. Yesterday, we're in like late September. It got up to 30 degrees. We've never had 30 degrees in September, so I think we're in for a warm one this year, guys. Alright, so I've got that mica mixed in there. Got the rest of my fragrance. I'm only going to split it up between the blues because that white already has some in it there. And the white really is just going to be for accent. So let me get my fragrance oil mixed in. Really liking the colours that I have got here. Very wintry, snowy sort of colours. Let's get myself sorted here. What I want to do first of all is grab this one. Make sure my white's still pourable there. I'm going to start off with this cerulean. I want the brightest of the blues on the bottom. I'm just going to start to pour it so it fills in all of these gaps. Alright, so I've poured the rest of that light blue in there. What I'm going to do is just pour a bit of that white in there. Not too bothered that it's chunky because it might give it a bit of a better snow flurry sort of look. And let's keep pouring on the top. Pouring quite low so it doesn't completely drop through those layers. I'm trying to get, I'm not after an ombre, but I am after a bit of a graduated look as well. What I'm going to do now is I actually might just pour a bit in there. Should have poured it in sooner, but oh well. We'll just go with the flow here. Do you know what? Tiara said it the other day on one of her Halloween soaps that she was making, that doing your soaps with the shaper tools are perhaps some of the messiest soaps she could ever make. And she is so right. I always get in such a mess when I use the shaper tools, but they're so much fun as well. Can really add to your soap. Just going to give that a bit of a play. All right. Just going to leave that sit a second to clean up this mess I've made, and then I'm going to come back and do a bit of a textured top. Alright, so I have got my little stainless steel spoon here. I'm just going to do a very, very simple, basic spoon top on this one. Oh, that's pretty. Just to really finish it off, because there's so much going on in the inside, I really don't need too much as a topper on here. Just to really finish it off and go with that whole snow theme on the inside. Give it a good sprinkle with some biodegradable holographic glitter there. That is looking absolutely gorgeous. Not much to really look at, so I'll just bring it up close for you. Look at all that pretty shine and sparkle. Gonna leave it sit here overnight and we'll be back in just a moment and we'll cut it open. Alright, so we are going to cut into this soap. I can see I do have lots of air pockets, but that is not very surprising, considering this is all of that sort of hardened up soap from out of that scraping, which I just dumped straight into a mould. I then did some extra piping, made some little melt and pour trees to pop on the top, and somehow managed to match it all up perfectly, which is, for me, it is actually unusual because I actually used melt and pour from other projects, so I actually didn't add any colour but managed to colour match it perfectly. I've laid this one on its side so that the trees don't get in the way of the wire cutters. It is quite firm. We'll get all the way cut through. It's going to be very plain on the inside, but still it's a bonus little soap. And we are through. Alright, so let's grab my little soap off here. that is the inside. It's actually really, really cute, just something a little bit different. What I think I am going to do with these, I've got a little Merry Christmas stamp, going to stamp that on, and I will probably end up putting these forward to Night Ninjas, who are a local charity group here who give out toiletries and food stuff to some of our homeless in the area. And the last time I put some soaps out, she did mention that she was going to save some for Christmas to give their people something just a little bit extra. So I might give them a little Christmas soap this year. That's a really nice way of using them up. It's actually not too bad with the air pockets on the inside, and as I said, I'll just use the ends to really fix these ones up. So I'll go and get this one all put out of the way, and then we'll go and grab the main soap and we'll take a look at that. Alright, on to the main soap here. Really looking forward to getting this one cut open to see if that tree actually did work. It smells really good. So I used it in that spring showers, and that soap has been super popular, and as soon as I put it out on the shelf, it started disappearing. It smells really clean and fresh, and although it reminds me of that sort of spring shower, I think it is also that perfect sort of Christmas scent as well, because it just has that balsam pine. This is set up quite hard. This has actually been sitting here for a couple of days. I did the soaps, came to do them the next day, and I just felt they were too soft, and then I had markets, and 3 days later they've set up nice and hard. Let's take a look. Alright, so let's grab this one from off the end here, and that is the inside. I'm really, really pleased with how that has come together. You can see those trees have just formed perfectly in there, and we've got the little snow caps around them. Do need to work on graduating my sky colour a little bit more. In the pot, the colours look so much closer together than what they've come out. This navy blue, which is from Magic Mica, that is the closest to a dark blue that we can actually get here, so really happy with that colour. Do like how it looks like we've got little snow drifts falling on through as well. Really, really pleased with how that has all come together. Very, very exciting. The trees just have all those wisps of colour through them as well, which just makes them really, really pretty. Really happy with how that one's come out. So this one is going to head off over onto the cure rack for the next 4 weeks, and it will be ready for the Christmas release, which will be at the start of November. So I hope you have enjoyed watching how I made the soap in using the scrapers. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you then. Bye.